What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are beginning our coverage of Mobile Suit Gundam Katana. In this adventure, we learn about Ito Tsurugi and the BGST team. This team is on the verge of being forced to retire, but with the help of Ito, they will bring down corruption within EFF. Let's not waste any time, and let's get into this. A bunch of former EFF soldiers are harassing a young boy going through an alleyway. They tell him that he has to pay a toll to pass through. He has a sword on his back. We just cut to these thugs straight up dead on the floor as the kid walks through the alleyway. UC 0084. After the war, the majority of EFF's military infantry were demobilized. Many squadrons soon started to act like gangs as Earth's economy spirals into nothing. In the outskirts of Milan, a group of Fetty soldiers are transporting $10 million. One guy says, "Are we floating?" "I think we're floating." He looks out to see that he is being held by a Xeon mobile suit. They crush the armored vehicle. Xeon remnants are tired of using crypto and need some real cash, man. Also, what is the dollar pegged to in Universal Century? It can't be gold. My guess is Luna Titanium? A group of EFF forces gather at attention to Chief Mingle of the BGST team. They have been informed of a Xeon remnants attack on the bridge heading into Montebello. They will head out to investigate and retrieve the money. But Mingle doesn't think he needs mobile suits for this operation. The BGST team meets up with the bridge blockade. The blockade finds the BGST team to be slobs. Usually, they send out 3 unguarded transport ships, 2 of which are decoys for the real one. But that plan didn't work this time, so they believe Xeon remnants have an informant in their ranks. Mingle asks how much. They tell them it was $10 million. Everyone's buttholes on the BGST team puckers real hard. They hate that Xeon is getting rich while they are getting downsized. They wonder where their mobile suits are, but Mangle says doesn't need them. Also, Mangle talks like Foghorn Leghorn. It's beautiful. He looks down off the bridge and says, "What in tarnation is a kid doing down there?" I'm not doing the voice. It is the boy with the katana. They tell the kid to climb back up and get out of here. Suddenly, a black Medea flies over them. 2 Titans members comes out to meet with Mingle. The two seem to know each other. They are effectively taking over the operation, and they demand that BGST hands over all their intel. Mingle's right-hand man instantly hands over the files. Mingle looks at him and says, "Really, dude? At least hand it over to him slowly. Show a little bit of resistance." But Titans members can hang soldiers on a whim. That certainly instills fear quite easily. The Titan dude flips his hair as awkwardly as possible. I will never get tired of all the weird and awkward artwork in all of Sono Yoshihiro's work. Mingle wonders if they plan on attacking Montebello. The Titans say they are safe for now. Before walking away, the Titans member makes fun of Mingle, saying how the Great Katana unit has fallen so low. Their team was once feared as the Dagger of the Federation. A once elite group is now struggling to find relevancy in a post-war world run by the Titans. His team is now simply responsible for finding clues. Mingle thinks of the previous leader, Kanesada Tsurugi. He is struggling to live up to his command. He remembers that Kanesada had a son, and no one knows of his location. That is when the mysterious boy with the katana like your former commander comes over and tries to cheer him up. Mingle kicks him out of the crime scene again. No, let him get there on his own. It will click eventually. One of his men informs him that they found one of the downed armored vehicles heading away from Montebello. He and half of the team goes to investigate while others hold back and continue forensics. One man named Yas is mad that he is being left behind, but the mysterious katana boy comes and cheers him up. Yas tries to kick him out. His full name is Banki Yaskovic. The kid looks at the downed trees in the crime scene. He says that Xeon remnants have a Dom. Doms leave giant tracks behind them similar to Wappas. He looks at Yas and tells him that it is time to become a hero. Underground, near Mingle's location, is an old century factory. One of Mingle's men is working with the bridge blockade. He is using a Dom, making it appear like Xeon remnants. This BGST soldier is betraying his men in exchange for a vaccine of some sort. He also said this is something their old commander promised. They are about to kill the security men in the armored vehicle, but that is when Yas and the boys shine a light on them and tell them that the jig is up. The informant gets into the Dom while the bridge blockade soldier runs away. He accidentally runs off to Mangle, looking super sketchy. That is when the mysterious boy makes his appearance in the Striker Custom. The RGM-79FC Striker Custom is the evolution to the Gem Striker. This mysterious unit has a Gundam head, but is not classified as a Gundam. The head houses the Demon Blade AI system. We will learn more about this, but it awakens latent new type powers using EEG waves. It could also use vibrating dust to function like a weapon. Other weapons include 60mm Vulcans, a beam saber, a 100mm machine gun, and 2 custom beam sabers that can form together to form a beam Naginata-like weapon. It also incorporates Xeon technologies into this upgrade and stores it on its new backpack. These weapons include the Spark Knuckle, which was created off of Heat Rod tech. and the bust knuckle created off of Zeon's chain mine tech. We will see a hooligan's favorite use this in the future. The Striker and Dom engage in battle. Yas thinks it is a Gundam, but Mangle realizes that it is just a Striker with a Gundam head. Like Amado Ray in the first episode of Gundam, the kid rips off the Zeon Mobile Suit's dangly bits. The Dom fires on the Striker, but the kid is able to dodge it. As it goes to attack with his beam saber, the Striker goes low and pulls out its custom beam saber and stabs the Dom. Mangle has seen this move before. It is one of their special techniques, Lightning Invincible. The BGST team arrests the two men. The kid says that earlier when he asked the man about the Dom, his butthole puckered and he took notice. The informant tells the kid that he did this because his son is sick and he was laid off from the military. He takes the vaccine and tells the informant that he will deliver it to his family. You sure you don't want to test that first? Yas is sad that his comrades are resorting to terrorism just to get by, and they may be next if Titans keep taking their jobs. Mangle demands to know who this kid is. The kid calls him Uncle Mangle and says that he is Ito Tsurugi. He is Kanesada's son, and he is now in command of this unit. He plans on fighting the corruption within EFF. A small Zeon remnant group is planning an operation on the outskirts of Milan. BGST stands for Blade of the Tsurugis. They were an elite anti-sabotage brigade that all of EFF once feared. But in UC 0084, economic disparity gave power to the corporations. The military was no different, as Jamatov Hyman's Titans were merely a tool to create disparity within the ranks of EFF. The best became Titans while others were forced to retire. Essentially like forcing a buyout in the corporate world. The BGST welcomes Ito as their new leader. He has his father's sword, which is one of two symbols of their brigade, the other being a long sword. Everyone bows in honor. Ito gets up and says, "Now that that's all done, it's time for some layoffs." He plans on retiring the BGST team as it is on the liquidation list. Everyone goes from happy to sad instantly. Later in the mess hall, Yas wonders why Ito didn't draw the proof of leadership longsword, and some don't think of him as a real commander. Everyone gets distracted by Miss Merrill in the lunchroom. Ito and Mangle talk to the base commander regarding Zeon remnants hiding out in Montebello. It has become a holdout for the remnants, and they don't want to poke the hornet's nest. However, they have been doing small-scale raids. Ito believes that they are going after junior mobile suits, mainly used by sports. This area of Italy has junior mobile suit manufacturers that can compete with what is being made on the moon. So much so that an Anaheim Electronics subsidiary also has a business in Italy. The only intel they have is that these bases are next to a river and most likely are being attacked by amphibious mobile suits. Ito has an idea. They want to investigate a few factories in the area. They are actually on BGST's payroll, insinuating that they may have more men selling out EFF. That is when the two Titans approach Mangle and Ito. We learn that the tiny one is Captain Stonefield. I guess this is these two Titans members' role in this manga? They just roll up to Mangle and say, your team sucks, And then he makes this face and leaves. I don't get it, I don't understand it, but I love it. They head back to the team and inform them of the new operation. They aren't having it. Yas says that if he is the true commander, then he should be able to draw the longsword. Everyone watches intensely as he tries. Of course, he is unable to do so, but he doesn't really care about the sword. He leaves Mangle to plan the mission, and he calls the mission Operation River Como with Love, which is the name of the river adjacent to the factory. Yas, being an idiot, takes the mission name literally and asks Meryl out on a date during the mission. He and Meryl go out on his gun tank. They have a picnic where Yas tries to get Meryl to bite his Pocky. Ugh. I don't think I want Pocky anymore. Someone over the radio calls Yas an idiot for taking the mission name literally. They tell him to go to a new location. Meanwhile, the base commander Fellini is meeting with the Zeon remnants led by Lieutenant Junior Grade G. Goddard. He is the one betraying the BGST team. They are waiting for the next attack on the factory. An explosion goes off in the distance. The attack begins. That is when Yas and his gun tank stumble onto their meeting. Goddard thinks that EFF is betraying them, so he gets into his goof flight type. The MS-07H8 Goof Flight Type is the evolution of the Goof Flight Test Type and the Goof Custom. It has movable stabilizer wings on the backpack and waist armor, which greatly improves its ambac system while in the air. Only 3 were made, with the other 2 stationed at Genius Sahalin's base in Southeast Asia. Weapons include a triple 35mm Gatling gun, a Gatling shield with another 75mm Gatling gun attached, and a heat sword Type D3. Yas says, "Hey, Commander, why are you with Zeon?" Hey, why is there a goof here? Hey, why is this goof coming at me with a sword? People on BGST are a little slow. That is when Ito in the Striker Custom comes in. He had a hunch that the base commander was in on this. He let Mingle handle the operation because he knew people would let their guard down if Ito wasn't taking command. The two engage in battle. One of the base commanders, Jim, holds up the gun tank as a hostage. Ito plays around, but they tell him not to move or they will kill the gun tank pilot. Ito tells the goof to attack him. He won't even move from his spot. As the goof rushes in, Ito does the special technique, Cut Awakened. He ducks down and slices off the goof's arm. Mingle's team comes in because he saw the explosion. It appears it was a diversion to draw out Zeon, but Ito didn't expect them to use goof flight types. He assumed they were amphibious types. The Titan's captain comes over to BGST and mocks them once again and takes off. This time he doesn't do the weird hair flick. Come on, do the flick. Ito says that the Titans are right this time. They should be embarrassed that EFF is working with Zeon remnants under their noses. However, he pulls out the retirement agreement that has been issued to the BGST team. He also pulls out the Tsurugi longsword. He draws the sword and slices their retirement agreement in half. They are amazed that he is able to draw the sword. He is a Tsurugi. Mingle wonders how he was able to draw the sword. He lets him in on the little secret. There is a hidden lock on the katana. You have to twist it in a particular way to unlock it. It has nothing to do with strength. Other Zeon remnants are informed of Gotter's failure. Gotter has been referring to himself as a snake throughout this chapter. These other remnants say that next time, BGST will have to take on the spider. And that will do it for this episode. If you missed Gundam Hooligans, this manga is going to satisfy that need. Comedy, ugly faces, and secret techniques? What more can you want out of a manga? I guess there's robots too. Next time Ito fights against a Zeon remnant new type, he will shed his Choban armor and they will run into a GM command. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, my sword is bigger than yours. Peace.